But the best thing to do is go to room number 2, which is a Healers Network lounge. And there's somebody there that can book the appointments for you. And there's probably some people already waiting to be seen in the room to give you some free sample readings.
Deborah DeNicola is a poet and dream image guide. Her spiritual memoir, The Future That Brought Her Here, published by Nicholas Hay Press, is an Amazon bestseller in psychology. She's the national award-winning author of 6 poetry collections. She studied at the Young Institutes in Boston and Zurich, and with Robert Bosnak, the founder of the embodied dreaming technique. Her work is published widely in print journals and on the internet. Among other awards for her writing, she received an Individual Artist Fellowship for the National Endowment for the Arts. Deborah has given dream image workshops and lectures in many bookstores and conference centers. She teaches dream image work. Her website is intuitivegateways.com. That's intuitivegateways.com. And she joins us today to share how we may demystify our dreams. Dream image works for personal growth. Please welcome Deborah DeNicola. Welcome, Deborah.
Hi, thank you. Thanks so much. I am going to share a PowerPoint. So let's make sure that it's on my desktop here. Why isn't it showing? I don't know what's wrong, but I can't.
Did you hit the green button on the bottom of your screen? Once
Yes,
it's on your desktop.
yes, then it shows me my desktop, which is supposed to be something that I can share. So let me just try that again. Oh, there it is.
You got to reduce that.
Can you see this?
If you can open it up to just the PowerPoint itself.
Deborah, if you go to slideshow and say start from slide 1 on top, the bar up top, it says slideshow next to animations, between animations and review. Click on slideshow. There you go, click that, and then play from start. Upper left-hand corner, play from start. All the way over.
All the way over to the left, all the way to the left.
Left-hand top, play, there you go. There you go. There you go.
Sorry. Yeah, this is the magical dream image work experience. So just imagine, I'm going to give you just a lot of basics about dreams here, just kind of a grounding so that later I'll talk about the process and more particularly, and hopefully be able to do it with some of you. Imagine with me just for a moment that you've had a hard day at work and you've come home, you crawl into your comfortable bed and fall asleep and dream you're in a magical forest. Looks like the planet Pandora with a homing tree and beautiful flowers and fish floating around. But suddenly the dream changes. And maybe you're falling off a cliff, or a grizzly bear is attacking you, or you're hydroplaning over a bridge in your car and it's out of control. And you think that your beautiful dream just turned into your worst nightmare. You wake up and you want to totally forget it. But I'm here to tell you that your dreams, especially the negative dreams, are your best teachers, because they're showing you what your unconscious is saying. And the unconscious really does have a big role in how we feel about ourselves. So I'm going to go to this. Here's, can I move this, do you think? Here's a little diagram of our ego is at the top, and our ego is who we think we are, what our desires are, our own self-image, the roles we play in our lives. And yet there's all these layers of unconsciousness underneath that. Now, most of us are familiar with the personal subconscious, which is when, you know, you just suddenly think of something and you have a little synchronicity that goes on, and that's a little bit of knowledge has come up from the subconscious and created a little synchronicity, which is always nice. Then there's a personal unconscious, and that's all your wounds and hangups and biases and anxieties, all your stuff that we don't like to deal with, that we repress a little further down. Now, growing up, we had a family. Sometimes we find ourselves in a role with family that is very charged. And whether you're the black sheep or the one who always has to succeed, there is this whole network in the family unconscious that these are all things that we want to heal and make conscious. There's an ethnic unconscious, racial unconscious, you might say, from our ancestors, from our history, from, when you go to ancestry.com and you see that you had all these connections with Asia or somewhere else that you never really related to. That's also very powerful. It's somewhat similar to the national unconscious. We're Americans, where there are many stereotypes about what different ethnicities are or national people are. And we've got to deal with that role too. And then at the very bottom, there's this ancestral unconscious, or what Carl Jung, who is kind of my teacher, the collective unconscious. And this is where the archetypes live. And the archetypes are images that have existed through mythology, through, I'm sorry, my nose is running. And I've kind of been sick. But I'm seeing blood here. I don't know what happened. But maybe I'll just turn off my video. Sorry about that. The archetypes are the characters in fairy tales and in folk tales that we've always known from growing up, and they show up in different ways in different societies, but they are archetypes because they show up everywhere: art, history, dreams, poetry, mythology. Sorry.
Deborah, do you want to take a break?
I think I'm better.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening here.
Okay, we don't want you to have an emergency right now in front of us. Victor, take over.
If you can just switch me to another time zone, another time.
How about later on, at the end of the day?
That's fine. That's fine. I'm really
Okay.
sorry.
Why don't you lay down and do what you need to do to take care of that, please?
Okay.
Tina, you around?
I'm here.
What can she do to stop the nosebleed?
Well, gosh, I was just thinking of Nausea Drops as a daily practice, a fundamental life support for all doshas, all unique elemental combinations, all of us, is Jali Neti, which is using the neti pot, which is a little teapot. We put a little sea salt in our purified water. We tip the head. The water goes in one side, out the other. And then we do the other side. This purifies the mind. It's fantastic for people with allergies. It's perfect for people who have a little brain fog in the morning. And then after this, we can use Nausea Drops. And these oil drops, we can use medicine for the mind. And we can also lubricate the nasal passages. This is very important because we're receiving our prana through the nose. And if we are in the Vata time of life, there's a lot of extra movement. We are in Vata season right now. It's very dry. If these passages are dry, we can easily deplete our mucous membranes and be vulnerable to cracking or bleeding. And so, gosh, I would recommend some nice sesame oil, maybe massaged in the nose. And I would definitely recommend to the group Jali Neti practice in the morning, and also Nausea Drops. We simply lift the chin and use the dropper to administer the drops, both sides, 3 drops. It's a beautiful practice. Banyan Botanicals makes a gorgeous Nausea blend that can easily be bought online for $12 or so. And neti pots can be found at any Walgreens, CVS, natural store.
Thank you. Thank you for your information.
You're welcome.
Okay. So we can bring out Roy earlier. Roy, are you available? Roy? Roy?
Yep, so I'm available. Yep.
Okay, we're going to.
Okay, I'm going to introduce Roy. Joining us from down under, from Tasmania, is Roy Purcell. Roy is the singing psychic. He's a clairvoyant, a clairaudient, and some of the information he receives comes in the form of songs. He's been practicing for more than 20 years, starting with tarot, and then his gifts emerged. He'll be demonstrating his reading skills today. Please welcome Roy Purcell. Welcome, Roy.
Thank you, Victor. Okay, is anyone in the audience like to start off by asking a few questions? Asking a question, I'll go straight into reading.
So you're going to open up to participants right now?
Yep.
Okay, so why don't you raise your hand in the chat? If anybody wants to have a reading? Anybody want a free reading with the man from down under? Or unmute yourself, and the first one who unmutes themselves asks the question. So go ahead.
Hello. G'day, mate.
G'day.
Of course.
We're in sunny Florida, but it's freaking cold.
Okay, fire away, Nicole.
So I've been working on a lot of healing work, but and I started taking some courses to empower me, but I'm trying to work out what is my greatest hindrance to me fulfilling my purpose, for actually stepping out and taking the first steps.
Okay, first of all, I'm hearing a great old song, Spirit in the Sky. So this is all about faith in yourself. This is about believing in yourself. Now I'm hearing an old Cole Whittaker song, She Believes in Me. I might have the wrong artist here, but again, I think this is all coming about believing in yourself more and having faith in what you're capable of. You're selling yourself too short.
Mm. Yeah, I do have the fear, like, what will I be good enough at it, and do I have what it takes? And yeah.
Well, as far as being good enough at it, I'm hearing the old Starship song, Nothing's Going to Stop Us Now.
Ah.
So it's all about just...
Does that mean there's going to be someone else partnering with me?
Well, I think they're just using the song literally saying, right, the only one stopping you at the moment is you.
Yeah.
And you just have to be brave and just go for it. Which brings up this dreadful Billy Ocean song that I'm hearing when the going gets tough.
Yeah, the tough got to get going. Yeah.
But yeah, you've got everything you need. I'm hearing Charlene's song, Never Been to Me. If you're familiar with that one.
No.
Okay. I apologise in advance, folks, for my singing voice here, because it's a lady singing the song and I might not have a high enough octave. I've been to paradise, but I've never been to me.
Mm.
Basically, the song's about she's trying to talk to a lady that she sees a lot of herself reflected in this person. So she's trying to say, right, live in the now. Don't feel like you need to sort of going and changing yourself because you're not going to benefit here.
Mm-hmm.
And your situation is basically is a pretty good one. You've got a lot going for you.
Yeah. Just don't let the past get me weighed down. Just use the past as an avenue, as a fuel to direct me forward into my mission.
Yeah.
But don't get caught up in trying to heal the past, because then you get stuck in the past.
Yeah, no, well, so I'm going to have to throw this quote I've been getting from a Disney song, Hakuna Matata.
You know, Dada.
Now, what I'm getting is Pumbaa's line where you got to put your behind in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you got to put your past behind you. So I'll use going to Timon's line where he corrects him.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, on to the next person. So if someone else would like to ask a question, just fire away.
Or
Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, yes, please, go ahead. Sorry, Victor, I'm repeating you there.
Hi, am I on?
Yes, you're on.
Okay, thank you. I have many gifts, and from holistic health counseling, energy work, hypnosis, prana healing, and I'm also a designer of hats and clothing. But in the future, I want to concentrate on, I'm trying to figure out what I should concentrate on.
Okay. Now I'm seeing an image here, Nancy. I'm seeing. Okay, I know you're not into the what I would call artsy fartsy things, but you're using an artsy fartsy image here. I'm seeing someone sculpting something out of clay here. So this is going to the creative. So this might be concentrating more on the hat making and on the creativity side of things here. It's not about dropping anything, but it is about sort of needing to sort of give yourself a bit of a rest from energy work for the time being here. I'm feeling a drain, like you're not at your peak, if you get what I mean here. I'm actually feeling like I've got energy flowing down out of me. I'm getting this as a physical sensation. Sorry about this. Sometimes happens here. Now, I'm also hearing the old song Impossible Dream. Now, this one's a little bit before my time here. But to me, this is a bit, I think it was Bing Crosby might have sung that one amongst different other people here. To me, this is about sort of taking ownership of what you're good at and just putting all your energy into that in the short term here. Long term, I'm hearing, or I'm feeling like energy balls in my hand, so it is going back to the energy work, to the reading, to the healing and all that later on, but you need to take a slight break from that for now. Hopefully I'm making more sense to you, Nancy, than to myself. You need to unmute yourself, mate. You've got yourself muted.
Oh, okay. I have taken a little break from the energy healing. I still teach. I'm also a chef, so I teach people how to prepare healthy meals. So all of what I do enjoy all of it. It's not like it's taxing to me. It just comes very natural for me.
Yeah. You know, as I said, it's just a temporary break from the energy work for now until you sort of remarshal your forces and sort of give your body time to sort of take a breath. You've been through a pretty hectic year, to put it mildly. Now, what I am seeing here, and this is important here, I'm seeing an image of, or I'm seeing the quotation, physician, heal thyself. So you may need to sort of concentrate on self-healing at the moment as well here.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I've got for you, Nancy.
Okay, thank you.
Hopefully I've been helpful.
Yes.
Okay, on to the next person.
Who would like a reading from Roy? Just speak up or go into the chat room and raise your hand.
Okay, if you like to ask, unmute and ask a question verbally, I might find it easier than trying to read the chat.
I have to unmute myself. If
Oh,
you-
sorry, Sheri. I just saw
My lips
I
moving.
bet you.
No, hey, if anybody wants to have a reading with Roy, take advantage of this opportunity. It's probably, what time is it in your zone there, Roy?
Nearly 8 o'clock in the morning.
It's already the next day, everybody. Oh, God. And he's here with us. So please keep him awake. Ask him to do a reading or he'll just go to bed. So. Go ahead. Who would like to have a reading with Roy? Just shout out. Karen, Lowry, Menashe, Nancy. We just did Nancy. We have Philip, Rosa, Sam, Ulysses, Valerie.
Okay, first one to ask, I'll do the reading for.
So randomly pick somebody then, if you want to do that. Just like, you know, hey, Valerie, this reading's for you. Sam, this reading's for you. Can you do that?
Yeah, okay, I'll go to Valerie actually.
Okay.
Okay, Valerie, if you'd like to ask a question, or I can do you.
Yeah, I just unmuted myself. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
What do you see for the next year or two for me?
Okay, for next year. Okay, first of all, I'm seeing travel now. It's not big travel because they're using a single prop airplane to illustrate travel here. So it's only short destination travel coming up. So this wouldn't even be interstate. This would be more likely around the state, your state. Now, I'm seeing a tree growing in front of me here. So this is about something new coming up. This is something new coming, or that you've possibly planned or planted in this year coming to fruition. The tree's actually odd here. I'm seeing a pear tree, but it's growing lemons. So, so yeah, it's a little bit unusual here. With the lemons, with the citrus fruit here, I'm not seeing it so much as meaning something bitter coming out of this, but I'm seeing potentially being able to turn what you can't get out of this into another another thing altogether into something even better.
Everything's better.
I'm seeing whatever's coming to fruition for you gives you a chance to create something better for yourself.
Okay.
Because the lemons reminds me of the old thing, life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
Well, I'm getting lemons, you said.
So this is about turning whatever is you're getting the fruits of into something even better than the
Okay.
actual results.
Okay. That's good.
I am hearing songs about improvements coming up for you here. Better by the Beatles.
Better, better, better.
If you ever seen the Better Homes and Gardens TV show, it's the theme song.
No.
Getting better all the time. Better,
Oh.
better.
Yeah.
But yes, to me, this is about improvement. There are some changes coming up. I'm hearing changes by David Bowie.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm about bringing up all these old songs. It's just the way
Yeah.
my guides communicate sometimes here.
Okay.
So there is improvements, there are changes. And I'm hearing The Moment of Truth by Survivor here. So you're coming out to a very much a situation where you can really shine if you sort of put the effort in.
I have to put the effort in, huh?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now, I'm ignoring the obvious here, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
feeling my body shrinking.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel this is about improvements health-wise as well coming up here. Now, I will warn you this, what I know health-wise.
Better health.
So, better health coming up here.
Good.
I will warn you this, what I know about medicine, I can write on the head of a pin in capital letters.
What, say again?
I will warn you this, what I know about medicine, I can write in capital letters on the head of a pin.
Uh-huh.
But, which is, in other words, is not much.
What's not much?
Now, my not medical knowledge.
Oh, your medical knowledge is not much. That's all right.
Yeah. Now, I am feeling the back area as well here. I don't know if you've had any issues with the back.
Yeah. It's better. It will be better.
It will be better. At the moment, I would say that you might be worrying a little bit more about it than you should be here.
Okay.
The level of pain I'm getting in the back's what I would call an annoyance level of pain.
Uh-huh.
So don't need to stress about it so much. Okay, sorry, I'm getting exercise songs here, so I'm getting YMCA by the Village People.
I should exercise.
Oh, just exercise a little bit more.
Yeah. Walking.
Yep, walking, just simple things, as low impact as possible.
Low impact.
Low impact.
Okay.
Now, backing up YMCA, I'm also hearing Physical by Olivia Newton-John.
That's kind of an exercise one too. What
Yeah,
about my
well,
relationship? What do you see in my relationship? I hate to ask.
okay, what I'm hearing here is I'm hearing Talk It Over by Grayson Hughes. So you need to sort of talk it over.
Talk it over. Need to talk.
So you both need to communicate a little bit better here.
Yeah, we don't. And we tried to. We're starting to.
That will help fix things here. Almost hearing A Matter of Trust by Billy Joel as well here. So you both have to
Mhm.
start trusting each other a little bit more as well.
Mhm.
Good thing is I'm not hearing any cheating songs.
No, I don't think so.
So I feel other than getting the communication sorted, that's the only real drama here. Miscommunication happening.
No, now or in the future.
I feel
Continued.
like I'm dealing more with it now.
Yeah. And we need to communicate so we don't have the drama.
Yep, you communicate better, you talk things through.
Mhm.
Not in bed like the song says, because not much talking can happen in bed. But yeah, just communicating better will sort of solve most of the issues here.
Okay. What about my
Now,
art? Anything about my art?
this is getting back to the exercise.
Oh, the exercise. Go ahead.
So this is about the lungs and heart area here.
Mhm. Be careful.
Just as I said, low impact exercise, keeping it reasonable, so don't go for like a 3-hour walk.
That's not happening.
So say maybe 10 minutes a day,
Uh-huh.
and it's really going to help with the heart there as well here.
Mhm.
Now, okay, I've got to try and figure this out here. I'm seeing the color red here, so there might also be blood pressure or something to do with the blood happening on with you at the moment here.
I don't think so.
So it might be
Maybe.
something like blood pressure, something like that. I'm seeing the color red, so I'm seeing a blood red in front of me. So I'm just trying to judge what the
Okay.
color is.
I'll get it checked again.
Okay, hopefully I've been helpful there for
Yeah,
you.
anything with my art?
Your art. Okay, I'm seeing like very, very beautifully framed art in front of me here. I feel at the moment here it's about putting more value into what you're doing here. What I'm seeing here look all in nice in any gallery.
A nice gallery?
I'm seeing it would look nice in a gallery. I'm saying
Thank you.
your artwork is that good. You should be sort of displaying.
Yeah, I know. I should more. Maybe soon. What about my choir?
Yes.
I'm in a choir. I'm on the board.
Okay,
Charity work.
now I'm seeing that'll be okay as well. I'm not hearing anything or seeing anything you need to worry there, so things will be going okay.
Okay.
You haven't got
Okay.
anyone like me singing there, so that'd always be good.
You're hearing "Let It Always Be Good."
Oh, so you haven't got someone with a bad singing voice like me in the group, so in your choir, so that's always good. Everyone's
Okay.
in tune.
And last thing about my family, anything?
Again, I'm not feeling anything there that you need to worry about. Everyone's fine.
Okay.
You know, they're picking on your artwork again here. I'm hearing Vanessa Amorosi's song "Shine."
Shine.
Yep.
I don't know that song. Want to sing it? Can you sing it a
Yeah.
little?
Okay. You can change your life. You can change your soul. You can live your life or go hide in a hole. Nothing lasts forever,
That's great.
but you can try. Everyone around you, everyone's going to shine.
That's any way it's going to shine. That's a good way to end the reading.
Thank
No,
you,
it's
Valerie.
about you sort of just putting your best in there, taking pride in your work, and displaying it. You know, you're selling yourself
Mhm.
short when you shouldn't be.
Thank
Yeah,
you
I
so
guess.
much, Valerie. Thank you. I hope that reading was
Thank
meaningful.
you.
We have time for one more quick one because we're going to have Deborah coming back. So let's get on with one more very quickly.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, Sheri, what?
I thought she was not ready yet.
No, not yet. She hasn't come back. She said she'd let us know as soon as she's back on. So.
Okay, got
No,
it.
I mean, I am here. I just
Oh.
couldn't get my
Oh,
mute.
Deborah's back. Okay. So let me just wrap with you right now, Roy. Roy, please know that Roy will be in room number 18 for additional readings. He'll be at the Playroom at 5:45 for those who want to connect with him. And Roy, how can people get a hold of you?
Well, people can contact me via my Facebook business page, which is Roy Psychic Readings. I'll take bookings there, and also every now and again I've got the odd special that crops up there.
Wonderful. Thank you
And he's
so
doing
much.
a door prize. What is
Oh,
it?
yes. What is your door prize?
My door prize is an hour video reading worth $120.
Okay, we'll do this very quickly. Put your numbers into the booth, I'm sorry, into the chat between 1 and 100. If you've won before, you're not eligible, and presenters are not eligible. And let's get this done real fast. Roy, write down a number on a piece of paper, and we're going to call your number in a second and see who we get. So come on, folks, put your numbers in real fast because we got to get Deborah back in. And we got to get Roy over into his room.
Hey, countdown. 10,
Countdown, 10,
9,
9, 8,
Mhm.
7, ignition, 6, 5, engine
Got the-
start, 4,
You got the perfect rocket
3,
voice.
2, 1, liftoff. We have liftoff of SpaceX. Okay. All right. What's your number, Roy? Show it to us, please.
55.
55. Michelle is the closest. Michelle C is the winner. So how can she get a hold of you and arrange for that gift?
Well, she can either contact me via my breakout room, or she can just leave me a message on my Facebook page, and I'll organise the session for her.
Wonderful. So her Facebook page is Roy Psychic Healer. And is that all right? So
Roy Psychic Readings.
Psychic Readings. I'm sorry, Roy Psychic Readings. Or you can go to his room number 18 where he's going right now.
Or give us your email in the chat and we can give it to him.
Absolutely. Whatever works best.
Okay.
Thank you, Roy.
Beautiful.
Okay, thank you, Victor.
And you can go follow Roy to his room right now if you want some more time with him for Q&A. Okay, and we're going to be bringing Deborah back. And right now, Julian is still in room number 1. He has oh, and Robert's there now. So Robert is now in room number 1. He's running the Playroom Experience. If you want to have some time with Santa Claus and some psychic channeled readings, go over to room number 1. And Healers Network room is open, room number 2, if you want to book any direct appointments, or you can just write down in the chat the person that you want to see. You can look in the breakout rooms, which is down on the bottom of your screen. There's 3 little dots. It says more, or you see 4 little squares and you hit that, that's the breakout, and then you have access. However, if we did close your rooms, we need to put you in the rooms. If we're still on the lockdown, I'm not sure if we locked the rooms down ever since that experience today. So if you do want to go to any rooms, just ask and we'll move you over.
Okay, we're going to welcome back Deborah DeNicola. Welcome back, Deborah. You feeling better?
Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful.
Sorry, everybody. I'm going to now share this, and I'll just pick up where I was.
Absolutely, please.
And here. Okay. So I was talking about that there's all these layers of unconsciousness, and at the bottom is our collective, all of the human history, whatever, since the caveman. There are some universal archetypes. Just just going to move this over here a little. That you're familiar with, which is like the circle, the cross, the star. These are, you know, images that show up for many of us, the moon, the planets, babies. The trickster is a good one. The guy who comes in and kind of causes trouble. And have had experience with a trickster in my dreams who kept reoccurring. And the trickster was actually a cab driver that I knew who used to come into my bookstore. I owned a bookstore, and he would order the most heavy duty philosophy books, and he just did not look like what he was. And it was kind of a symbol that something in my life I was looking at the wrong way, or misjudging a book by its cover or something like that. So I've always liked the way the trickster shows up. The magus, or the wise old man. There's a wise old woman too. And there's the witch, of course. Animals, which I'll talk a little more about. But those are just some of them here that I put into the PowerPoint. And this is something you might find interesting. The dream researchers have changed their mind. They used to say we sleep 4 to 6 hours a night in 90-minute cycles measured by rapid eye movement, what they call REM sleep. Now they've decided that we're dreaming actually all the time. It's just like we're changing channels. So we're not seeing a specific reality, but we're shifting in and out of it. Think about it like the internet and surfing. I think that's a really good metaphor for the way we're living, especially because so many of us are, you know, with our time, are lost the term. What is it? What we call multitasking. We dream all the time. If we live to be 80 years old, we'll have spent 20 years sleeping. Now, 20 years is a long time. So think about, wouldn't you like to know what was really going on in your unconscious for all that time? So I find that statistic kind of startling. A few generalizations. All dreams, no matter what they are, the silliest ones and the most scary ones, have intrinsic significance. There is a reason that you had that dream. Dreams are glaringly honest, and that's why sometimes they come in disguises, because we couldn't accept them otherwise. They can be prophetic. Among this group of highly intuitive people, I'm sure some of them have had prophetic dreams where something happens in the dream and then it happens in this reality. But most are not your everyday average dream. Everything in your dream is a part of you. And I said that before, even the weather, the landscape, the objects. And what is most unconscious, made conscious, will enlighten you. It will give you an aha moment. Here we have E.T. down at the bottom, having his aha moment. So here's some just language that I use in discussing dreams. The archetypes, which I've just talked about, recall, and in recall is, how do we make it work better? How do we remember our dreams better? One thing you can do is, when you are first conscious that you're awake, don't move, don't open your eyes. Just lie there, know that you're awake, and you're probably right on the edge of sleep, and you've got an image, and an image will come to you, and just stay there and wait for it a little bit, rather than just jumping right out of bed. Even just dropping your notebook, if you have it near, to write it down, sometimes you lose it in the few minutes that it takes you to do that. So I recommend using your phone as a recording, and just grab it, and just as quickly as you can sum it up. It doesn't have to be in order. I think we project a narrative onto our dreams to make them as stories, but actually I think all the images are going off at once. So I have a little essay on that I will tell you about later. Fragments. Fragments are like you just remember one scene or one little thing. You can still get some knowledge out of that. So don't dismiss it because it was just a half a dream or you didn't know what happened next. Because dream fragments are purposeful, I think. That's what your unconscious wants you to pay attention to. Identification is, yes, you may be dreaming about your best friend, you identify with her, you can move into that image fairly easily. But then there's resistance when you have to move into an image of something that is more horrifying or angry or frightening. And amplification is when you look into the symbol books or you look online, what is the significance of a donkey or something. You can look it up and you can add more information to it. But the process that I use for unraveling the dream, you don't have to know anything about that. All you have to know is how your body is feeling. And day residue is when you say, oh, I dreamt that because I saw an image of that last week in a magazine, or I dreamt that because I watched that movie last night. But day residue is important. It picks up what your unconscious somehow knows what you're familiar with, and it's like a computer in itself. It just drops that day residue image into your dream, and yet when you explore it, it may mean something way different and way deeper. So I like to work with those kind of images when people say, oh yeah, I just dreamed that because it's not true. There's more to it. There's different types of dreams. The ones we love, the numinous dream, when you really feel you've been contacted by some kind of spiritual reality, whether it's a dead relative or some part of you that is very dear, or if you're a creative person in the dream, you're writing the song or singing a song. Those dreams are so special, and Jung talked about them as big dreams. Then there's perspective, which is future oriented, sort of like prophetic, but not exactly. It's more like a hint at maybe what you are meant to contact next or try next. A prodromal dream actually can announce an illness. Sometimes there's a doctor who I heard about who dreamt that he went to the doctor and the doctor showed him a x-ray of his lungs and that he was riddled with cancer. And he was a smoker and he stopped smoking the next day, and he's convinced that he saved his own life that way. So actually, but my mentor, Robert Bosnak, built a hospital that deals with dreams and other kinds of modalities that we're talking about here in Santa Barbara, California. And he based it on the Asclepian temples from the time of the Greek gods. And they would go sleep in a temple if you were sick, and that's how they would diagnose your illness, was from what you actually dreamt from the healing god Asclepius. Nightmares, okay, we all know what they are. Often we wake up before the really terrible thing happens, and it's just a bit traumatic. Very often linked to something you are afraid of that you're not recognizing, or something that is you're angry about, and you don't want to really express it because it's not appropriate. But it's just good to know that.
Think down. There's a new age.
What's happening here? Are you hearing that voice? Okay. Can you hear me, peoples?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. Compensatory dreams sometimes you are really down on yourself and you go to sleep and you have a really beautiful dream where you're successful and having fun, and it compensates for the attitude that you have, and it will do that also if you're too high up and thinking a lot about yourself, looking down on other people or being judgmental. You might have a dream which puts you down. So those are kind of interesting categories to think about. Not that any of this needs to go into the work that I'm talking about, which is recognizing your emotions, but this is just some background information to show you how much there is really that we do know about dreams. So some more types of dreams: archetypal, the larger than normal dreams, the dreams with an eagle. I had a dream where an eagle flew out of my head. And I, of course, looked up eagle and wanted to know what that was all about. But it was mostly the feeling when it happened in the dream, which was exhilarating, that taught me more about what that meant. Recurring dreams, lots of people come with problems with recurring dreams, especially if they are nightmares. And what we want to figure out with that is what's triggering them. So it's always important to know what your day was like before you go to bed. And if you journal, it's a good idea to just write down in your journal a few things that maybe were concerning you, because most likely whatever you dream that night will be connected to your recent life. Sometimes a recurring dream will be from childhood, or it'll be a room that you were in when you were younger. What that is showing you is that your complex that the dream is talking about is started at that point, and something triggers it even all through your adult life, because it's a hang up that you never really addressed. And once people do address it, it often stops. That kind of especially if it's so negative dream. Incubated, I was gonna talk about that as a problem solving dream. What you do before you go to bed, if you journal, again, and go through your little ritual about, I intend to remember my dream. I wrote out a little affirmational prayer that I say, and then think of a problem or something that you want to resolve that's been bugging you, and visualize it just clearly in one shot, like, you're in the kitchen talking to your husband or whatever, just one shot, and then ask for information about that. You might dream something completely different. You're in 3rd grade with ice skating with your girlfriends. It seems to have nothing to do with being in the kitchen with your husband. But when we do work on the emotions of that dream, somehow it gets connected up. And so I always say, don't ever dismiss something as irrelevant, because you can actually get in the habit of creating a problem-solving situation with your dreams. A confirming dream is just, sometimes you get validated. Yes, you did the right thing. And you wake up knowing that, and you see the parallel, the metaphor. I got into dreams through poetry, actually, because of images. And I always had very vivid dreams and was interested in writing. So, excuse me, I do have a cold. And then lucid dreaming. You've probably heard of that. Not many people do it, but more and more people I'm hearing do it. I think it does have something to do with the ascension. It's when you're aware of that you're in the dream, and you have the power to change the dream any way you want. That is not in a dream that's going to give you instructions about your unconscious, but it will help build confidence and help you see that the sky's the limit. You can create whatever you want, and it's a very powerful feeling. The benefits of dream image work: you can change your blocks. We have certain blocks and denials about certain things. We can change our beliefs and attitudes. You can also see that you have more potential than you think. You're not in a rut. The dream will maybe have a different figure in it. Like I had these Madonna dreams in the 80s, and I wasn't really into Madonna. And I thought she was, you know, a show off, and a bunch of things that I could say were kind of judgments that I made. But I was having these dreams about her, and she's very outgoing and says whatever she wants. And I'm the opposite of that. So I understood that actually I had that potential to be a little more daring, a little more bold in what I wanted to do. And I wouldn't have felt that if I hadn't gone through the process of feeling it in my body and being the Madonna in the dream through this imaginative work. So we can also see how we misunderstand others and we misunderstand ourselves sometimes. We can open new neural pathways by, you know, we have thought processes that just seem to go into the same ditch over and over again. That's why we say our affirmations and whatnot. But if we see bigger possibilities, we can actually change those neural pathways and recognize the shadow. And the shadow being one of the most important archetypes. And who was it who said he was doing a lot of shadow work here? Xavier, I think. Pretty much psychology does deal with shadow sides, and that's pretty much what we do want to find out about, because they're the ones that make us scared. They're the ones that screw us up, make us say the wrong thing in front of the new boss or whatever. It's the shadow will sneak up on you and try to undermine you. And once you recognize it, you can have more control over that. So you understand the flow from the image to the emotion. You feel the emotion in the body. And I ask you questions as you're feeling it in your body, and it comes out. Well, at some point I'll say, are you feeling this in your life anywhere? And somehow there's this click, and you know what it's talking about. So that's what we're reaching for, is to trigger that understanding that is on a deeper level than your conscious mind. Further benefits: shift your energy bodies, because you have all this energy swirling around, because what we're doing is trying to focus on the different mood, emotional states that you have. And there's often oppositions in a dream. So I'll often try to find the most safe place, the resting place in the dream, and make that conscious first before we go to maybe the other end where there's something strange or frightening or angry. And then try to hold both those feelings at the same time. So it's a meditative process, but it's also an active imaginal process. So change yourself, change your energy field, and then the law of attraction will help you change your world. Not quite as easy as that, but that's what we're going for. So dreams are free tools for spiritual growth. And then here's a little, just some indicators of things you can think about. We often are moving somewhere in our dreams. Transportation, we're often in our cars. Our cars are really a symbol for our bodies. And, you know, if you have a dream that you had got 4 flat tires, you know, ask yourself how you really feel. So trucks, buses, those are big issues. Boats, crossing the water is a classic dream that a lot of us have, that is about a transitional state. Airplanes sometimes have to do with sexuality. There can also be fear around that. But transportation is basically about how you're doing in the world in terms of movement. And then buildings also relate to the body or the ego state. So if it's a great big beautiful mansion, that's a lot different than finding yourself in a dark room in a ghetto, or if there's a castle, that's different from a regular modern suburban house.
Deborah,
So
we're gonna have to move on to our next presenter, but you will be in room number 13 for people
okay,
to discuss this with you further. And at 6:45, you're going to be in the playroom where they can answer more questions and you can tell them more. Your website is intuitivegateways.com. Do you have a door prize for us today?
Yes, I was going to give away a 60-minute session of dream work, and which is usually worth $75.
Wonderful. So I'm going to ask you to write a number down on a piece of paper, and I'm going to ask our attendees to put a number in the chat room between 1 and 100, and the closest one will win. If you've won before, you're not eligible, and presenters are not eligible. So we're going to wait for the folks to put their numbers in. And
should I open the chat? Yes.
yeah, I'm looking at the chat right now. I'll pick the number from the chat, but you just write your number down.
Okay.
We're going to do a countdown, 10 more seconds to put in your number to win a reading with Deborah. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deborah, what was your number?
17.
17. Nadia. Nadia is the winner. She hit it right on the head. So Nadia, you are the winner.
Okay.
And for Nadia, do us a favor and either meet Deborah in room number 13 after this presentation, or if you want to give your email in the chat, Deborah can take it from there, and she'll contact you for your reading. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you so much.
Okay. Sorry,
And we hope you continue to feel better.
Now, are you going to move me into the other room?
Momentarily.